pride of Tulsa, Oklahoma Sooner legend, Tony Casillas joins the show.
Yeah.
Tony, brother.
What's up, guys? Hey, first
Man.
of all, I was just listening to you guys while I was waiting backstage, and Coach, just like the show on Netflix, I'm a big fan. I mean, obviously,
Appreciate you, brother.
Just the locker room banner and your team meeting when one of your players is flunking out of, I believe, art class.
Oh yeah,
He said, "Draw
a
a
damn picture, man." That was that'll always be my classic line for you. But hey, thanks for having me, guys. This is great,
man. Hey, I can't thank you enough, brother. We just had Drew on before you. Drew Pearson was on, and we got to talk to him and just talking old school, man. And I saw you saw that clip we just did about this automated referee shit. Where are you at with the NFL, man? What are we going into, this AI generation of shit? Like, we won't pay a guy making all this money with everything from TV contract to revenue share. We won't pay a referee to actually just put the damn ball down anymore. We're going to actually have a damn robot, you think?
Well, I think it all comes down to probably, I guess Troy Aikman said it best. It's all about getting the bets right, the gambling aspect of it. Because it just seems like every year there's something they change. And I mean, it's gotten so dehumanized. So it's just, when you have like this decision maker and there's all these different layers, instant replay, I think sometimes you just got to go with the human nature of the eye, and it's just gotten so complex, and now you just trying to get things right again, because so many different variables are in the game of the NFL now. It's crazy.
No doubt. You play with a longtime friend of mine in college. I'm a little younger than you guys, but Jamal Holloway was a guy I grew up with, him and Darian Hagan right here in Compton and Watts. And how special was that character, man? I helped his son coach with me for a while here in LA, and he got his son into coaching, and he was coaching with me as well. I had him coaching the QBs, but that dude was different, wasn't he?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Coach, is that he's just coming out with his book. And, I think, when I look at Jamal and what he did as a freshman, people don't realize Troy Aikman went down, and then Jamal came in and started as a true freshman and obviously led us to a national championship. And, I just don't give him enough credit. At Oklahoma, they give you credit for winning Heisman trophies, and they'll have a statue of you, and which is not it's fine with me, but when you look at teams, especially that generation running the wishbone, and really just his ability to mature, as a player, a young freshman cat like that. And I think that he's gone through some ups and downs, but I think he's in a great place now, Coach. But you're right, man. He was special. You go back and watch the wishbone and support you of emotion. People couldn't stop that. I mean, you had to execute. You had to come off the perimeter. And Jamal he looked like a seasoned veteran coming out to running that offense. So, you can't say enough about that guy. He had this flair to him, but he could back it up. And again, I'm just so happy for him. I think his book is going to resonate. A lot of people are going to find out about his story. But I'm a little biased. I mean, he took us a national championship, and sometimes he just doesn't get enough credit and flowers he did his career at Oklahoma.
No doubt. Smitty, before I know Smitty's going to ask you a couple things. I got to, just to tie in with that. You play with some unbelievable. You play with Brian Bosworth and Marcus Dupree. Were those three guys some of the best players you've ever got to see on a football field at one time?
Well, I think Brian, he was a great player, but I think he was probably one of the biggest dicks I've ever played with. I'll be honest with you. And
really,
I look, and I'm not one of those guys that holds grudges. It's nothing like that. I just think when you look at the guys that I play with, he's not. He wasn't a team guy. I think and that's cool. I mean, he's persona and build a brand, but. Certainly one of those cats that you go out and have a drink and smoke a cigar with you, Coach Brown. Not one of or Smitty. It's not one of those guys. Marcus Dupree was a freak, no doubt. I've never seen a guy just head and shoulders above. You've heard this. You heard this. The slogan before, the man amongst boys, and he just showcased that. I never seen a guy that was 6'3", 230 pounds and run a 4.4. I mean, you don't see that. Just a freak of nature. And I think the one thing with when you have someone like Marcus Dupree, Coach Switzer is a great. I love the guy. I mean, I love him to death. I mean, I talk to him all the time. But Coach Switzer has some accountability. He's a freshman, and again, just before his time as far as physicality, but just didn't have that gene. Not to say that I'm not saying the gene to like work hard, because everything came easy to him, and maybe that's not the proper way to put it. But I think for him, he just came too easy, and the expectations of working hard, putting in the work during the week, and he just didn't want to do that. And Coach Switzer, and if you can't coexist with Coach Switzer as a coach, then that's not to say he's a player's coach, but he has boundaries, and you have to the accountability. But in college football, you just can't play on Saturday. There's some preparation that goes into that, and I think Marcus, now realizes that, life after football and where he's at, and what happened in his career. But certainly not one of those guys that you would that didn't have the physicality and just the work ethic, because it just it came too easy for him.
To him naturally, yeah, no doubt.
The curse of the gifted is something that I think when my coaches would say sometimes. So now again, honor to have you on here, man. I'm looking at your resume. You're a national champion, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Did you win a state championship in high school too, or no?
I didn't win a state championship. We went my high school year at Tulsa East Central. I think we went to one playoff game, and that hadn't been done, in the history of East Central, my high school in Tulsa. But I did. It was funny because I used to play. I was a baseball player, and I became this gym rat. I got in the weight room. You know how that goes, Smitty. You start getting swollen and feeling good about yourself. You're on the powerlifting team, all naturally, by the way. And so you just get into that. You get in that lab, and I just kind of grew out of the baseball. Really played. I played baseball my junior year in high school, and then I just started I started getting big and strong, eating a lot of enchiladas, beans and rice that my aunts and my grandparents, my grandma gave me. But all reality, I just fell in love with just the aspect of working hard in the weight room, and I just there's nothing like dominating someone, and I think that's part of the work ethic you had. I was in state championship. My junior year, I think my senior year, I was the runner-up in, I think, the discus, and runner-up in the shot put. But that's the closest I got to running the hurdles, was the shot put and discus, man. That's about it.
Got you. Well, the reason I even asked that is it seemed like just about every level you've won. You've been the champion. The collegiate level, obviously at the NFL level as well. I guess it's more of a broad question. When you look back at those championship winning teams, what does it take to reach those pinnacles consistently? It just seems like championship and winning followed you. Like, what did it take?
Well, I think for one, you got to have a great coach, and I think you have to. For me, I think you embrace that as a player. I think obviously it's changed now in college football. I mean, it's just with the NIL and the transfer portal. Not to say you can't do those things, but coaches, they have to coach at a different. They have to change their philosophy because of just the landscape of it. But for me, I think it was just. I wasn't the most athletic guy. I mean, I had to work my ass off for what I had, and just it wasn't given to me. My work ethic from not having a whole lot, that story, and really just overcoming a lot of obstacles. Failure was part of my career, and I think should be part of everyone's life. That happens, life lessons. But I tell you what, I had some great coaches. Guys that really believed in me. Coach Switzer, I can't say enough about that guy. I mean, I have so much respect for me. I quit, and he taught me in and said, "Hey, look, I want you to come down here at OU and be the best Mexican I ever coached." And I'm saying, "Okay, coach, let's go." So he believed in me. You need guys like that believe in you. The message we got. Because there's so many guys, you got to be transparent, And I think coaches do a good job of that, is seeing players, what little intangible thing that they have and bringing it out. And, for me, it was the work ethic. I had a lot of guys that, I followed their pattern as far as practice. Practice to me was something that if I could get through practice, the game was easy, because I think it depends on, your competition. Certainly in NFL, when you're practicing again and working against guys like Larry Allen, Eric Williams, those cats, Mark Stepnowski, Mark Tunay in the NFL. But certainly in college football, it's the same thing. It was just having that confidence, and really just having that bravado that, look, you may kick my ass, but I'm going to get back up and I'm going to come back at you. And I think for me, that was always my mentality, is just to try to work outwork your opponent, and really just not being content, and really just regardless, not getting really comfortable with success, and really just being insecure about that. And I was always a team guy. I always felt like guys around you could make guys better by your play, and it's infectious. They watch you, they watch your work ethic, they watch your work habits, and I think that's the kind of people you want to surround yourself with on a team, is have the same goals, the same aspirations, to win a national championship, and certainly to win a Super Bowl. That's the coveted trophy. But surrounding yourself and just being an example for those guys, because there's always someone out there that inspires you and sets the example for me. And so that's kind of what I live by.
No doubt. I got to ask you something, man. I think I don't know if there's someone else that's done this or not, but correct me if I'm wrong. Were you not an All-American on the D-line and then became the Lombardi Award winner the next year?
Yeah, so I was won a Lombardi coach my senior year, and that's a perfect example. I really, my junior year, I probably we had a great defense. I mean, our defense, we were surrounded by, you mentioned Brian Bosworth, we had Kevin Murphy, we had Derek, Daryl Reed, we had a lot of guys, Dante Jones, Ricky Dixon. I mean, you look at that, you go back and you Google and look at some of those names, man. We had some ballers on there. So that really helped me, and we had a great secondary. But to the point about winning the Lombardi, my senior year, I had a lot of aspiration. I was going to be the top 5 pick in the NFL draft. And so my junior year was, I balled out. I had a lot of sacks, tackles for loss. I think I had 11 or 12 sacks, and 20, 25. I don't know.
At the nose?
At the nose, man.
Woo.
And that's a grind.
People don't know how hard. I played deep tackle in college. They don't know how hard that is. Like 11, 12
job right there, man. I mean, that's down and dirty.
And
I think that's probably what you want to try to do, is that position.
At Oklahoma.
I always said it's like the fire hydrant. What do dogs like to do to a fire hydrant? They like to hike their leg. And it seemed that was that position inside, man, because you got people coming all at you. You got flying bullets coming at you. And I don't know. I just embraced it, man. It became very instinctive. But, you asked about the Lombardi. My next year, I got injured in the OU Texas game, and it was the third play of the game. And I got a bad grade. It's a grade 2 medial collateral sprain. And, I'm on the sidelines because I'm thinking about, hey, I want to be in this game. I want to be part of my teammates. But then I started thinking about kind of the selfish thing about your draft stock. I mean, that's automatic, and having a chance to play in a National Football League. But so I thought, this year is kind of going to be a scratch. So I had to really just fast track the rehab. And I got back. They said I'd be out for 6 weeks. And I went to Oral Roberts, a friend of mine. His girlfriend at the time had this miracle cloth. And I said, heck, I'll take anything right now. So
they're known. Oral Roberts is known for some stuff over there now.
Yeah. So it was a fast track. I was 3 weeks out, and I came back, and hell, I didn't really think I'd had a chance to win the Lombardi. I mean, it was Leslie O'Neill, Mike Hammerstein, a guy named Mike Ruth. And so they called my name, and, I was just a dream come true. I never really imagined that would happen considering adversity. But, it's great. I still go back to it. But, yeah, it was accomplishment. but we had such a great team, and my job is to freaking be a road grader and just eat blocks up. But then after that, your job's not done. Let's go make a play, right?
No doubt.
You're one step, and let's go ball out, make plays, and create havoc, and be a playmaker. And it just came easy. I just got to the point where, double teams, that's okay. That's a narrative. Triple teams, we'll take it on. But hey, that was my job, and as long as my backers are flowing free, hey, it was a good thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Hey, you real quick, Smitty, my bad. You had 2 stints with Dallas.
Yes, sir.
What was the more, I guess, the one you like more?
Well, of course, when I came from Atlanta, second player picked behind Bo Jackson, but back then in Atlanta, it wasn't Arthur Blank wasn't the owner. It was a different team. It was their best finish. Atlanta was 4-12 every year, so automatically, if you want to be a really high draft pick, you're going to go to a really shitty team. Okay, I mean that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
My best thing is getting traded to Jimmy traded for me to go from Atlanta to Dallas, and I always say this, Jimmy Johnson, he saved my football life. I mean, it was a point where it's like, look, it's great, you're getting paid, but that's just not just to go in to work and get a paycheck. Yeah, it's like, hey, just be quiet, man. You're getting paid. I'm like, no, that's, getting you beat up and sacrificing your body and going through that. It's just, there's got to be more to it. I mean, especially coming from a winning program like Oklahoma. I mean, look, that's all we did. And so I was really lucky, Jimmy traded for me. And then, first year, 91, man, we had some great players. Russell Maryland, Tony Tolbert. And then we brought in Charles Haley in 92. And then that kind of closed the deal. And then we won a Super Bowl, back to back. I think there was 2 parts of that story, Coach and Smitty. I think the fact that I was able to come to a team and really enjoy playing in the NFL and winning and enjoying everything that comes along with that team of the 90s. But then also the second part, I went to New York. I was Kansas City, but ended up not playing for Kansas City. Went to the Jets for 2 years, and then finish up in Dallas. And that was when Coach Switzer, when Jerry hired him. So I got to come. I started my career with Coach Switzer, and I finished it with it. So it wasn't bad. It was a great 2-part series when you look at the stint in Dallas. To this day, without a doubt, was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And the team of the 90s was a team we're still talking about because it's been that long since the Cowboys have done anything.
Yes, it has. And one thing I just noticed too is that, if I'm not mistaken, you played with Deion in Atlanta, and then you played with him with the Cowboys as well. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. I guess, is there a favorite memory that just stands out in the locker room? It could be on or off the field, whether it's in Atlanta or Dallas, just something that stands out of your time with playing with Deion.
Well, the first memory I have of Deion was when he was playing baseball. I believe it was his rookie year. He's playing baseball for the Yankees at the time. Yeah. And so they had a game on Saturday or Friday. I think it was, I may have been, anyway, I think that's the game he hit a home run. And then he got on the plane, and I'm just shaking my head. I'm just shaking my head now because the opening kickoff, he takes it all the way to the house, scores a touchdown. I'm like, my gosh, this freaking dude is special. I mean, who does that? Who hits a home run in the World Series on Friday and then runs for a touchdown on Sunday in an NFL game? There's not too many guys. I don't think there's ever been someone in the history of done that before. But I think Deion, prime. What he's doing now, I think he's I didn't see that in him in the locker room because he was prime time, and that wasn't a bad thing. I mean, he was before his time, and dude, I mean, if he could back it up. And now as a coach, I've seen a different phase of him, and I think some people either like him or don't like him, but I think his message is authentic. I think it really is. And I think that's the best thing about Coach Prime, I think that you have Coach Prime as a player, which is you got this big persona, obviously one of the best athletes that's ever played sports. And that's saying a lot. And then you have this guy, that's his message that, I think a lot of people, they kind of look into it. Maybe it's a little hype and maybe it's not quite authentic. Maybe it's the brand, which he has done a lot for that program. But without a doubt, I mean, his play making ability and what he could do. I mean, he would bait guys. I mean, I would see guys baiting just on the field, like, okay, I'm going to challenge your ass to throw that side of the field. And he would just be back there and he goes, hey, guys, watch this. And we'd be in the huddle. And so he would bait him. It's like, oh, I got a step on Deion. Deion like shakes. And he makes that step up. And it's crazy. I mean, he wanted to, trick you into like, hey, Deion's asleep. Deion with Prime was never asleep. And I've never seen that. The best thing about the time with Dallas is you got playmaker, Michael Irvin,
That's my
working
guy.
against Deion every day.
Yeah.
And the work ethic, because Michael I'd never seen a guy work harder than the playmaker after practice. But those guys would get out there and they would go, it was mano a mano, right? And they go one-on-one, and man, they made each other better. I mean, could you imagine that, working against one of the best defensive backs that's ever played the game? And
Right.
And then you have the playmaker, Michael Irvin, working against each other. So they went at it in practice. And Deion did have that work ethic, but man, in a game, I've never seen anybody shut down that side of the field. You hear about that, but to see it and watch it, and just sound like, hey, his philosophy, like making you get a little relaxed, and the next thing you know, it's like it's pick 6 for Prime.
Hey, I got to ask you something about your heritage real quick. So, are you half Hispanic, half Indian?
Okay, so I'm Irish. I'm Mexican, Irish, Indian. Yeah,
Cherokee.
Yes, Cherokee. So
I got some Cherokee in me, so I already recognize.
No, you don't, Jason. No, you don't. You're pure white. He's pure white.
I got Cherokee in me. Smitty don't know. That's what that
Smitty,
crazy blood that'll fuck somebody up real quick. That's that Cherokee that he don't know.
You can't go to my house, bro.
Smitty don't know about that.
I got 65 first cousins. That's how big my family is.
65 first cousins.
Yeah. So my dad there was 13 of them, and you do the math.
Yep.
So there you go. And it was so funny when I would go around family reunions. I mean, this is a funny Coach Switzer story. So the first time he did a home visit, he comes to my house, and my dad comes in. My dad's Mexican and my mom's Irish Indian. So my dad comes out, hey, Coach Switzer, how you doing? And my dad's like 5'7". Then my mom comes out, and she's about 5'7.5". She's tall for a woman, female. And so then I come out. I just got through working out, and he looks at me and he goes, "Oh my God!" I said, "They need to check the DNA on you, Pete." That's my dad's saying. But anyway, it was just weird, because when I go to family reunions, I would like tower over people, because Latinos, they're more like soccer and place kickers. I mean, there's some guys in NFL, but we're not.
Ruben in the chat.
Yeah, Ruben.
So I mean, I bet your coach, he probably never recruited a whole lot of defensive tackles that were Hispanic.
He was racist. Yeah. He didn't do it. Nah, he's racist.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's kind of
those coaches are racist when it comes to it. We're looking at Smitty first, and it goes to the big long edge rusher, and then if there's a Munoz floating around, we're gonna take Tony Casillas,
yeah. Hey,
floating around. There's a Munoz that's floating around.
Tony Gonzalez is mixed, so yeah.
Oh, man.
I tell you what, his ex-wife, she married up, didn't she?
Yeah, no shit. No shit. No.
Oh,
hey, no shit. Hey, are you in Tulsa still?
No, I'm in Dallas. I've been in Dallas. Yeah, I've been in Dallas since '91, and I just had my first grandson, so I'm
congratulations.
About a month old. And my name's Poppy. I go by Poppy, not. So yeah, how that is. My wife, she's Coco, but yeah, there's nothing like that. I always hear people talk about it, and you get older, being 61, you just
man, you look younger than me.
Well, Yeah, I like that cigar, man. What kind of? I got to ask you, Coach. What kind of cigars? What's your favorite cigar?
Well, my own are my favorite, Slapdicks.
Okay.
But that's they're. You know what? I do a lot of different ones, but I'm a triple leaf guy. Triple leaf, and I'm a Maduro guy, so I like them strong. So triple leaf though, wrap, no filler, no bullshit. I got to nowadays. I got to do the good ones, man. If you're gonna smoke it,
I love seeing you in the hot tub, man. What you have? Is that a little old fashioned? What was that? A little old fashioned?
No, I just whiskey Coke.
Whiskey Coke.
Hey, now today he's a little softer now. Only thing he drinks are Palomas, sugar on the rim.
Shout out to the Mexican homies. Shout out to the Mexican homies, Palomas.
Come on, Coach, man. Hey, I thought that dirty water, man. Sometimes that dirty water makes you make some dirty decisions.
It does. And, hey, I got off the whiskey for a while and went straight. Now it's either straight tequila, añejo, or Paloma, and that's it. I stick to those two now.
That's not a bad change right there, brother.
Nah, man. You know what I mean? I got to send you some cigars, though, for definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
Tulsa is one of my favorite spots. I try to tell Smitty, under recruited area that is very, I think, in the thick of things. I know Texas is, we talk about these huge stadiums and all this stuff. California and Florida and Texas and all this, the best players. But I'm telling you, as far as atmosphere, Tulsa, Oklahoma is premier number one in my book.
Yeah, so you're familiar. Yeah, so you're familiar with Jinx and Union and those.
Oh yeah, schools. Fuck.
Let me tell you this, Coach. There's a new coach that they hired at Broken Arrow, and we're getting down, going back to the neighborhood. Guy named Travis Hill got the new head coaching job at Broken Arrow. But yeah, you're surprised. I mean, here's the thing about it. Like in Oklahoma recruiting, with Switzer especially, you never, obviously the things are different with the NIL and guys getting paid and everything. But if a guy ever got out of Oklahoma and went across, that was a crime. So, but yeah,
that's
you're
how
right.
It was here. UCLA, you lose an LA kid like Darian Hagan going to Colorado and Jamal going to Oklahoma at the time, or Lawrence Phillips going to Nebraska at the time. Shit, they're about to fire guys out here like Toledo at UCLA and Robinson was just leaving and Larry Smith era and at USC. There were guys on the hot seat. You lose an LA guy. It's the same with Oklahoma, sure.
Yeah, well, as far as recruiting against Coach Switzer, and I think I'm just by. I mean, the guy was a tremendous recruiter. I mean, I had a chance to meet him, and he's just. He could. He could persuade you. He could, and he was great about that. I mean, that's the greatness of recruiting. But yeah, I mean, the genius of recruiting. But Oklahoma, you're right, is underrated when it comes to talent. I mean, there's a ton of talent there.
Nah, it does. Tulsa's unbelievable. I look at Tulsa and then South Carolina as far as the atmosphere. Dallas is cool. I mean, Texas is cool, but you got these huge stadiums in certain places. But every game in Tulsa, Oklahoma is a sold out, from Union to Broken Arrow to Jinx to you name it. Owasso, they're all sold out. Yeah. It doesn't matter what night you go to. Booker T. So I don't know. I love recruiting Tulsa, man. So. Hey, Tony, we got to have you on again, man. We got to have you on again.
Hey, anytime, Coach. Like I said, I was just fired up when I got a chance. Again, I love Last Chance U. Big fan of all the shows. Certainly checking you out. And Smitty, I mean, thanks for having me anytime. And
hell yeah, we got to do it again, man.
This is what you have. You have fun, and that's the greatest part about doing this.
Hell yeah, man. That's why we're trying to blow this thing up, and guys like you, man, are helping it. So I can't thank you enough, man. And we'll have to have you again soon, brother. Appreciate you, brother. Sir. Good luck to everything. Hope everything's good and the family's well.
All right, brother. Good smoking, man.
Hell yeah.
See you guys.